Hello and welcome back to Shards. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Cody ran into Therium, after running away from somebody that was dressed up like a plague doctor, after running after a little doggy who heard Cody and Scribbles basically arguing. Well, he heard Cody arguing with nothing. He was talking to himself. And Cody ran after him like an idiot. But yeah, so apparently we're going to be with Therium, which was a big surprise considering the fact that he kind of appears as like a background character or just like a character that's off to the side. He doesn't give partner vibes. He just gives very weird, very interested in the main protagonist vibes. I mean, he is, but he has his own agenda. Anywho, actually, I never noticed that Dallin has the diamond thing on his sash. If you look at the diamond next to chapter 1, you'll see like the little yellow next to it. Anyways, but yeah, so a lot of shenanigans to be expected from the summoner's route. Or I guess I should call it from hanging out with Therium route. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah. Why don't we just jump into it and you'll see what I mean. Should I hang out with Therium or spare him the trouble of a nosy snow leopard drooling over him the whole day? Since I already played this, normally you wouldn't see this. And normally picking this one would actually just lead back to this one. So accept his invitation. I'd be happy to have you by my side then. The man closes his eyes contemplating before smiling sincerely and finally showing you his hands, reaching with one towards you. Well then, shall we? The few clouds in the sky seem to disappear. The sun warms your fur with each step taken in its rays. You keep stepping beside your new friend, watching him walk with his tail barely swinging, a tail that separates a pair of powerful thighs, of which you can't take your eyes from. His tight top sleeveless shirt remains almost unmoved by the walking motion, making you wonder how it's pinned down. Perhaps it's a special material, or it's a one piece, but thinking about how that strip of fabric surrounds a guy's crotch, it's not the best idea at the moment. One thing that you do remember to take your mind away from the lewd thoughts is a creepy cloaked figure that might or might not show up around the next corner, behind you, or even outside, looking in. Noticing your awkward fidgeting, the horse finally decides to stop his intentional silent treatment, performed to tease an anxious, shy individual like you, successfully at that too. By his reaction, you assume that he enjoys doing this to first years for fun. You know, Cody, I'm so glad you decided to join us. What exactly made you take a decision like that? Usually first years with magical abilities simply join the sorcery shard. It's more versatile, some would say more fun too. I just like, summoning? Really? Say, what is a summoner's job? Summon Nightfallen to help? Duh? Whoa there, cutie. Easy on the details. Cutie? To help with what? House chores? You don't usually summon Nightfallen inside a house. It's a tiny bit illegal. Oh. Alright. I don't know much about summoning. I just found out that I have magic like 3 years ago. He stops dead in his tracks and says nothing, just turns around slowly, smiles warmly, and looks you up and down. That won't do. Come with me. Okay. He gently grabs your hand and makes you hurry along with him. Shortly, the academy's front gates are left behind, and the busy town's life takes its place. People walking by, bees and butterflies still bothering the flowers that decorate the shops and houses. Simply a nice day for a walk with a handsome man. Are you thirsty, Cody? For a man. What? What? I mean, yeah, kind of. You both stop by a cafe and he pulls out a chair for you. Thank you. A minute after, he brings out 2 large cups of liquid and offers you one, together with a big straw and a plate of pastries, both sweet and savory. Boba tea? Ah, I heard about these, but they don't sell them where I'm from. Then I would not survive there. You follow his example and stab the straw through the thin plastic lid. Upon sucking the liquid, soft balls of sweetness into your mouth, as well as a strong taste of coconut milk and vanilla. It's more of a neat sweetness bomb than tea, but it is enjoyable nonetheless. It's good, really good. This is my favorite drink. The milky cold tea and the chewy sweet pearls are everything that I want in a snack or beverage. I can see why. That's delicious. I can't believe that I've never had anything like it in my city. That's the power of local businesses. You spend some time in blissful quietness, with only the hubbub of the streets and nature to bother you, and enjoy the little lunch break. The light wind ruffles your fur and cools you down from the prevailing summer sun. It is a peaceful day, so peaceful that you almost ignore your parents' words. What do you think of the town? The academy? Huh? Oh, I've only been here for a day. Less than that. A few hours, but I already really like it. Not hearing any car horns or engines is nice, and the air is so clean. Not to mention you have these delights sold here. You shake the ice in the soon empty cup. The horse giggles together with you, but quickly switches to a more serious tone. Cody, you need a reason. A reason? What do you live for? What do you strive for? What do you fight for? Why do you want to be a summoner? That's a weird way of asking. Why? You see, slayers are either sex-driven or bloodlust-driven. They want to put their hands on Nightfallen one way or another. Alternatively, some just want to have their easiest classes and be the most likely to graduate. Defenders want to protect people, to be helpful in combating Nightfallen through other means than just murdering them. Murder? I meant killing them. Defenders are also in the business to have glory and the money of a hunter, but not actually interacting much with Nightfallen. Most aristocrats and noble families become defenders, even if defending people is the last thing on their minds. Sorcerers are somewhat of a jack of all trades, depending on their abilities, but most of them are either here to sharpen their craft or just looking for fun and adventure. You'll see that everyone fits into a mold around here. A good and bad mold? If you want to see it that way. What about summoners? He thinks for a second, readying to respond before stopping himself last second. That is for you to decide, and for others to judge. Why do I want to be a summoner? If it weren't for scribbles, would I still want to be one? Of course, whatever your response is, it's not like I'll throw you out or anything. It just depends on how I see you in my own eyes. Why? It simply calls to me. I made a promise to a friend. I feel a special bond with Nightfallen. Technically speaking, both of these would be true, because you did make a promise to Scribbles, and it kind of seems like Cody makes friends easily, and he is already a friend with Scribbles, even though Scribbles probably doesn't see it that way yet. And Scribbles is a demon Nightfallen. But already knowing what I know, I see. Well then, I know what we shall do now. What is it? Whoa! Therium grabs your hand, taking both empty cups of tea and throwing them in the trash can, before starting to power walk with you behind. Where are we going? A place outside the barrier. A special place. What kind of place? I'm going to teach you some basics about summoning. Whatever the reason you want to be one, I can't just let you fail tomorrow's auditions. It would be a shame if a recommended student switched Shards so soon. That's awesome. But why are we in such a hurry? He slows down and lets go of your hand, which you now realize kind of hurts. However, his accidental strength does the exact opposite of scaring you, of course. Whore. You're not allowed to intervene in the narration. You do it all the time. Shut up and continue. You're right. Sorry. I got a bit excited. I don't often take someone under my wing. Seeing the stoic horse show genuine emotion makes you feel nice. Just a warm feeling that can't be described surges through you. He stops walking and turns towards you. The back of his palm suddenly touches your forehead as his other hand holds your head in place. Strange. I didn't make any lewd remarks in a while, yet your body temperature is unusually high. Are you feeling all right? Yeah, of course. It's just kinda hot outside, you know? Especially with all this fur. He smiles while caressing his bare, short-furred arm. I can't relate. But no worries, the place I'm taking you is cool and shaded. Your little walk continues for another minute or so, until the edge of the barrier and the beginning of the forest comes into sight. He grabs your hand again and goes first through the barrier, sucking you out too. Ah! The force of the field is high enough to make you stumble, but he didn't hold your hand for nothing, as he caught you in his chest. I don't deserve a personal chest airbag. Why not? You're our little special recommended student. You deserve whatever you desire. He brushes off that last statement, leading the way further as if nothing had been said, but for some reason you can't shake the words off. Why exactly do we deserve the best? The headmaster made it quite clear that we have to treat you four very well, to put it simply. And they didn't have to tell us, leaders and vice leaders twice, because as I said before, it benefits us to have you in our shard. I see. You seem disappointed. I hope you don't think that that's the only reason that I want to hang out with you. It takes more than old bossy lion to make me do something that I don't want to do. That's reassuring, but if that's not the case, why are you, spending so much time for my sake? Sorry if I'm a bit negative here, but I don't have much to offer. You'll learn that there are very easy and straightforward answers to many complicated questions. The horse takes a couple of quickened steps and jumps over a big, fallen tree trunk, offering you his hand as you approach. The answer to that question is... He pulls your hand hard, catching you for the third time in his arms today. You're cute. You can't help but blush, almost hard enough to be visible through your fur, lasting for as long as his half-closed eyes linger on your flustered face. He lets go after a moment and takes a step back, waiting for a reaction to something specific. With all this self-doubt and meaningless conversation, you didn't pay attention to where exactly he's taking you. You only now notice the forest had turned into a clearing surrounded by bushes and tall mossy boulders, as well as some people-made objects. A couple of benches and coffee tables clearly made by amateurs, some scarecrows, or perhaps makeshift target dummies. A soft breeze ruffles your fur as you look around, noticing the best features of this place, the cool air and shade from the never-ending summer sun. What do you think? It's not much, but I am proud of it. It looks nice, and feels even better. Is this your personal secluded forest getaway? It's a pretty popular trope in romance fanfiction. Not that I'm that familiar with that topic. Cool. New plans for myself. Ransack your mind for all that gay smut. Please don't. Don't have time anyway. Gotta continue the commentary. The horse chuckles. Wouldn't say it's necessarily mine per se, but I was the one to come up with the idea and coordinate the work. It's a special place for the summoners to come together and hang out, or practice or study. Of course, summoning for fun is not allowed inside a barrier, but here we're free to do whatever we want. Shut the fuck up. Excuse me. Sorry, that was directed at this beauty right here. Your gaze falls on a tire swing hanging from a low, sturdy branch. Memories of your childhood come rushing in, and the desire to ride something that is not a man for the first time takes over. At least, your reaction is acceptable by the horse as you run towards the swing. Ah, that. Hmm. He watches you walk around the swing, contemplating how to use it. Although the courtesy would be to ask if you can use it in the first place. May I? I'd be insulted if you didn't try it. Let me help. He bends down and lets you use his hands as a tool, the tire being hung unusually high. You put your legs through the hole one by one, then hold tight as the rope makes the tire swing and rotate uncomfortably for a moment. You look at his grateful eyes as he leans on the nearby tree, taking the responsibility of pushing you lightly over and over since your feet don't touch the ground. How do you feel? 10 years younger. I can see that by your beautiful eyes. You get flustered again, I lost count, as your legs swing playfully like a 9-year-old. Isn't it curious how a thing so simple can bring so much joy to the most unexpected people? Am I that unexpected? Just because you're shorter with a thin and sexy body doesn't mean that it doesn't come with a bit of a surprise. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Your face is once again red as something very red. Like fresh tuna. Yes. From now on, every time you get flustered or embarrassed from someone complimenting you, I'll play the sound. Please, for all that is sacred, choose another sound. Fine. I'll use this one then. I just need any sound so I don't have to make meaningless comments on your feelings all the time. Understandable. Were you against the idea of a swing? Therium looks over the swing for a moment before responding. It was my idea, actually. Really? Yes. Why? Because I'm a bit bigger than you physically doesn't mean that I don't like fun. Besides, I'm only a year older than you. It's just that you're so proper. Kind of like Dallin, but less tied down by rules. If you ask anyone, they tell you that it's an honor to be compared to that wolf. But not you? I like Dallin, if that's what you're asking. But there is something about his ways that you don't agree with. Is that right? He looks surprised. My, you are one smart cookie. To be honest, I have different views on the world compared to other people. It doesn't start with the Defender's leader, and it doesn't end with him either. In any case, let's change the topic. I assume you have many questions. Yes. Oh man, so many. Such as, this will definitely sound dumb, but how do I even summon something? That's not dumb at all. First years are not expected to be able to summon anyone until the end of the first semester. Ah, that's good to know. Do you have any summoning crystals? Nope. He looks surprised. You search through the backpack upon seeing his reaction. Well, I had one that I was using as a flashlight once. It must be here somewhere, but it's probably dull at this point. No, don't bother. The ones used for light don't work for summoning. Oh. So you really don't know anything, do you? Ouch. Sorry. I mean, nothing about summoning. I was just expecting a recommended student to at least have some knowledge. I was mostly chosen based on my magic alone. I never really expected to actually join the summoners. So, what made you change your mind? A friend, I suppose. A friend? Yeah, he's a big fan of summoners and Nightfallen, but it's a delicate matter. I see. Well, a little context then. We have the day-to-day energy crystals, the ones we buy at the store. Prices don't even reach triple digits usually. Do you know where those types are collected? I assume from the weak at Nightfallen? Bingo. The weakest of them all. Some slimes here and there. Maybe a low-tier mimic. Those can store energy like a battery within them, and are the only ones that can be easily recharged by simply not using them for a while. Obviously, they don't have that much power to them, only used for flashlights, light bulbs, and such. I've seen people summon weak Nightfallen too. How do they do that? Not any crystal can be used for summoning. Their gems must be collected with care to be used for summoning, If the Nightfallen was killed, the gem is lifeless. Nothing more than wasteful energy. Oh, so we don't kill them? We'll leave the killing for the slayers and sorcerers. We're here for the fun part. So do we still... fuck them? Yes. Great, I mean, good to know. As a summoner, you'll learn more about that over time. We could go back to the academy and get some for your level. I smell a choice menu coming up. Desperate to stay here with your new man and your swing, you'll quickly think of a new question and topic. What about the additions, eh? What? The only question you can think of? Who designed this menu? Oh wait, there's another one. Never mind. I hid it here. How about your own Nightfallen? Would you look at that? I was wrong. There is another choice. It's this one. How about your own crystals? Do you have any? Once again, your question stuns him for a fraction of a second. I do, but they're too advanced for you. Can you at least demonstrate what I have to do? He thinks some more. Fine. I'll have one you might like. Here, let me show you. He takes out a small gem, keeping it tight between his fingers, in front of you, but at a safe distance. First, the most important thing is knowledge. You need to know who you're about to summon. It is impossible for you to, let's say, steal my crystal without knowing what kind of Nightfallen resides inside of it. I would never do that. I know, sweetie. It's rhetorical. Yeah, but still, who would want to steal someone else's Nightfallen? Why would they? They're just tools to be used, aren't they? I don't think so. I wouldn't say tools. More like companions or familiars or pets. Maybe even friends. Don't call me crazy for saying that. I see. So that's what you really think? A unique view, but definitely not crazy. This year, I heard the headmaster wants to do them publicly. The summoning auditions are never very fun to watch, at least not for first years, since as I said before, most of them don't manage to summon much. After that, it's practice sessions for everybody else. Will you partake in a practice session? No, that once again only is for fresh meat. The horse keeps pushing your tire away gently each time. You come close to him and you're having more fun on the swing than you'd like to admit. Now, as per your earlier request, my lord. He concentrates for a moment. The blue gem in his hand starts to glow, an animalistic figure getting conjured at his feet. Meet Sparky. An alien-like puppy appears, panting its tongue and immediately jumping at its owner's feet, asking for attention. Aww. Can I pet him? Sure. He likes strangers. You reach down and place the tip of your fingers on his forehead. The fur is soft but thick, with an almost otherworldly texture. If you close your eyes to ignore its antennas or multiple eye sockets, you definitely think it's a dog of some sort. This makes you a tad sad, something that the horse notices fast. What's wrong? Is he so much weirder than you thought he'd be? No, the opposite in fact. I think it's sad someone would kill this little fella, considering it's not even the kind that you can, charge with energy. True. His gem wouldn't even be able to generate enough power to power a light bulb. And they can't procreate either, so there's no reason to get rid of them. It does raise some questions. You know what? That's the kind of stuff that they'll teach you about later on. There was never a year when somebody didn't give the ethics professor a major headache. Do you know Chelsea? The Defender Shard vice leader? What about her? When she was a first year, one of the first things that she did in her second semester was release all the captured Nightfallen from their crystals. How did she do that? And more importantly, why? She is magicless, so technically she didn't do it, but she convinced someone to help her. She agreed to stop and help her capture them after her scholarship was on the line. As for why, the morality of the common uninformed people got to her. To put it simply, what does that mean? Cruelty against any living being, no matter the reason, is seen as a sin for anyone that doesn't work in the field, that doesn't know any better. And you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. You nod in understanding. The person who helped her... No idea. Couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. It was you. For the first time, such sudden information coming from you doesn't stun him anymore. He keeps quiet and looks down at the little Nightfallen, continuing to smile as he did before. It was I, indeed. I suppose that I am the main bad guy in that story now. Not at all. Huh? Well, both of you did what you thought was right, and since nobody was hurt, and it seems like you never done it again either, you're all good in my eyes. You know, Cody, I don't think that I gave you enough credit. Not knowing anything about summoning doesn't make you less important than someone else. Did someone say something about me? Well, this is a bit of a secret, but if you promise not to tell anyone, I don't mind sharing. I promise. Now who's a traitor? Do you remember Alvy, the other recommended student of the bunch? Your mind cringes remembering your earlier encounter. Yep. Something sounds familiar about that name. He's going to join us as a summoner. Oh, that's just great. We'll be in the same shard every day, all year, for the 5 years. Can't wait. I've met Alvy as well, and I must say that you two have a lot in common. How so? First years, recommended students, shy, extremely cute, and very talented in summoning. I'm not talented. I literally know nothing. Really? Not knowing how doesn't mean being unable to. The puppy Nightfallen transforms into blue smoke and vanishes into the crystal. Now you try. I'll hold on to it and help you when needed. You do as he says, reaching for the crystal, with your fingers and thinking really hard about the small Nightfallen, trying to will it into existence. You try to summon it as well, but something feels wrong. Something about the crystal reminds you of... me. At that moment, a small shock zaps the crystal, launching the puppy Nightfallen outside like a projectile. Ugh! Sparky! I'm sorry! Thankfully, the Nightfallen's fall was highly reduced by the thick bushes and soft grass bed. It comes back quickly, wagging its tail and breathing heavily with its tongue out, switching its attention away from its master for the first time. It looks like he liked that. And you. The puppy runs around you trying to jump on your lap as you lightly swing back and forth, scratching your pants with its dull claws. Alright, that's enough. He recalls the Nightfallen and gives you a curious look. He grabs your tire as a swing gets close to him, holding you in place and gets his face closer. Whoa. Your snout are only inches apart, making your lips just as close, but his burning eyes make you stay away, even if they only contain curiosity and a bit of mischief. Are you sure that you've never done this before, Cody? A soft smile crosses his face, delicate with a hint of slyness. You can't help but feel both cheeks, with the warmth of the blood as your eyes try not to widen too much. I swear. I've never even held a summoning gem before, only the mundane day-to-day ones. I'm not sure how I did it. Interesting. What are your powers, if I may ask? Energy manipulation. You reply hastily, as if his simple question was an order. He chuckles. And you dare even think for a second that you have no talent? Cody, you'll be summoning savage furs out of these crystals in no time. The tension in the air suddenly drops with your tie, the gentle swinging of the tire rejoining its lazily trajectory. What does it have to do with anything? It means you're a special bitch. Congrats. Energy users are supposed, in theory, to have a very strong connection to these crystals that Nightfallen reside in. I can't say too much on the topic since not much is known about it. There are 10, 15 people like you in the world? Needless to say, you're in luck. It's hard to believe I'm anything special. After all I can really do with my magic is throw some energy balls that leave me exhausted and charge phones. Maybe give you a little zap too, but that's about it. You don't need to be able to use spells to summon. All you need is a large magic pool, which you have plenty of, it seems. But never mind the Nightfallen and the magic talk. About those auditions, I was going to put a good word for you in case you really were as worthless as you keep saying you are. Ouch. I stand by my words, but ouch. I doubt that's true. In any case, I also doubt that there is anything that can keep you out of the Shard. We'd be fools to refuse you.
Stop, you're making me blush.
Haven't I not been doing that with my flirtatious attempts earlier? Shame on me. I'm getting old.
No, you're not. I mean, it works. Trust me, it works really well. I'm just a bit overwhelmed. I'm not, used to this kind of stuff.
Are you saying that you weren't the heartthrob of your friend group?
Not by a mile.
I need friends for that. What was that?
I'm just mumbling. Hey, here's a seamless subject change for no reason in particular. What is the gem that you keep as an earring?
This old thing. I use it to summon objects mostly. I keep it close since, objects are not banned inside the barrier. Nightfallen are.
That is so useful. So like a dimensional pocket?
Not quite. Since these objects are not real, they disappear after a short while. I can use a tool to get something from a high place, a rock to throw at somebody, or even...
A what?
He touches his earring and a beautiful blue rose in full bloom appears in his hand. Give pretty boys a parting gift. You look at the rose with a surprised, awkward smile, not knowing what to do, either about the flower nor with your flustered face. You get a hand free from the tire swing and reach for the rose.
Well, if you insist, and if this is really goodbye...
More blue smoke makes it dissolve back into the crystal. Of course, that's what I'll give you when we finally part ways, which won't happen now.
Huh?
Dinner time approaches and I want to treat you. There is no way that I'm letting you slip through my fingers just like that. With all the summoning talk, the fun swing, and the sexy man in front of you, you haven't even realized that the sun is soon to come down. I'm really enjoying your company, so I'll take you up on that offer. It also helps that I'm super hungry. Our snack break did not make up for skipping lunch. That's why I must atone for my sin. Keeping you hungry or in need is not something that I ever want to do.
You sure have a way with words.
Judging by your red face, it's in a good way.
No comment.
Although, isn't it still a bit early to go?
I feel like we'll be first and only ones eating that early.
We have an important stop before dinner, and it might take some time. Your mind filters out his last sentence for the sake of food.
Where are we going to eat? I bet this town has many great places.
The cafeteria is a nice place. A bit crowded at times, but the food is delicious. Now come on, it's time to meet your new leader.
Seriously? He's ready?
Allegedly. He helps you get down from the tire swing, not without some grunts of protest from your side. You really like that thing, huh?
I like riding things. Can you blame me?
Oh, noted.
Slowly, very slowly, you come to terms with what you just said, and spend the way back getting redder and redder thinking of the implications. The horse didn't seem to mind though, with a grin plastered on his face and eyes focused on the path back to the academy. He guides you all the way back to the main building, your eyes glued to his back and your hands are also glued to him, but not metaphorically, literally. With sweat. Gross. I'm nervous, okay? Both because he's holding my hands and because I'm about to meet my new leader. Your emotions are somewhat understandable, yet exaggerated. Either way, at least they made the time pass fast. Before you know it, the horse opens up a door, the summoner's leader's office. A familiar face with wide eyes greets you on the other side. Here we go.
Ah, good. You're here. What a punctual little man. Although his voice is bubbly, his greeting seems forced. Every time his head turns from you to the dog, his smile fades ever so slightly and his expression sours. The seconds of silence feels like an eternity and something in you just can't take it anymore,
Time to cut the tension. Hi, you must be Alvy. I'm Cody. You extend your hand for a shake, but the dog seems reluctant to accept it, understandably so. In his eyes, you still haven't proven that you're not a lunatic. No touching will be done in this room for now, but he does, at a very least, return your greeting. Hi. We will be shard mates now, aren't we? Yep. That's if we pass the auditions. But I've heard they're fairly easy, so there's nothing to worry about. Right, Therium? He's busy looking at his phone's empty notification screen and bumping his leg restlessly, completely ignoring you while the frown on his face intensifies. Yeah, sure. Respond already, you damn. Finally. Sorry, you two. Discuss further about... Whatever. I'll be back in a sec. He slams the door after walking out, a new kind of awkward silence taking over the room. A silence so awkward it needs its mom to make a doctor's appointment for it. So awkward it stays at home during prom because it couldn't bring itself to ask anyone out. So awkward it never answers phone calls, only texts. So awkward it... I get it! Sorry. I'm very normal, I swear. Okay. Door opens. Well, just got some shitty news. The leader is no longer coming today. There are some complications on the way. Are they alright? More than alright, I'd say. They're amused at the situation. Almost as if they want to see certain people suffer for no reason. That sounds concerning. It's nothing to worry about. Not for you, at least. So we're not meeting the leader? Does that mean we can't get our benefits? Yeah, sure. Can you do the paperwork? You're a vice leader. You have the authority. Yeah, we shouldn't need a leader for something so small anyway. Surely the rules can be broken when there is no leader at all. True, but I don't... The horse looks around the room, paces for a bit, then looks at you two, contemplating. He seems uneasy, fidgeting with his hands and almost shivering. He takes out his phone again and dials a number, then hurries towards the door without looking back, and I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be narration. Just wait here. Bummer. No leader and the vice leader is... having a mental breakdown? Yep. What's his deal? Happy that the dog is actually conversing with you, you try your best to be as normal as possible, for real this time. I'm not sure. I spent the day with him and he did have some shifts in emotion, but not like that. You don't seem too surprised either way. You don't look surprised either. I've already made my peace that everyone is a weirdo around here. Surprisingly, he glances at you with a soft smile. You're right. But I think it's the good kind of weird. For some people, I agree. For others, Speaking of weird people, the door gets knocked off its hinges and it flies past you two. This time, this weird action gets a reaction out of the both of you. A scared reaction. A fight or flight reaction. Listen up, you chumps! An eccentric raccoon girl, the culprit behind the flying door, comes in with high demands. I will not tolerate this. This is treason. I demand a witch trial. Hi? Ooh, Cody, you're making Mama mad. Why? What did I do? Come on, Chelsea. Let them breathe. It's not the end of the world. It's money, Dallin. Context, please. Sorry. We came in with the wrong foot. You literally came in like a wrecking ball. That's more than a wrong foot. And rightfully so? Well, you see, Therium messaged us and asked if we could help with your benefits, since the summoner leader isn't here yet, and he said that he has some business to take care of. What kind of business? He didn't specify. Me. He asked me, actually. Me, specifically. Yeah, I know. But I just couldn't miss the opportunity to say hello to yet another recommended student. And hearing Cody's voice is always a delight. Aw, thanks. I like hearing and seeing you too. Hmm? Oh yeah, Dallin. This is Alvy. Alvy, this is Dallin. Nice to meet you. I hope you have a great stay at the academy. Thanks. Would be better stay if you were a defender. Just saying. It's fine. Chelsea, it's your choice. Don't you have stuff to do, Mr. Leaderman? I do, but... Sweetie, you can't treat all recommended students like your own little escapade. But I don't know where Aiden and Tate are. And you're busy too. Since when do you want to work? Since... He looks at you with puppy eyes and ears dropping a little while his smile widens. Never mind. You're right. I should really go. No, stay. Please don't traumatize them. No promises. The wolf walks away while waving goodbye to all three of you. Hey, so... I couldn't help but notice you walked in a little mad at us. Why? Oh, that? Don't worry about it. I mean, you did cost me about a 60% salary increase by not joining my shard, but it's all good. Your choice, as Dallin said. I'm not gonna get revenge or anything. I'm scared. I'm just kidding. We still got a recommended student and the sorcerers as well. Poor slayers, though. At least, we're not them. Anywho. She walks towards the computer and starts typing away, focusing on the screen, but that doesn't stop her mouth from talking. Dallin made a point that I should congratulate you for managing to get this far and for choosing a shard and yada yada, you get the point. Thanks. Damn it, Therium seems like such a proper and meticulous guy, but his database is a damn mess. What are your full names again? Cody White. Weird. It's not. Therium said it's nice. We all lie from time to time. Don't take it out on him. I'm not... You little guy? Alvy. And... Arafar. A rich boy. The dog doesn't seem to like that comment. Less so than you and your weird name. It's not weird. Okay, yeah, you're good. All done. Officially welcome to the Academy. You are now both members of the Summoner Shard, of course, and the title can be removed if you don't pass the auditions. But then maybe you'll join the Defenders instead? That gives me ideas. We were already members. Oh. What am I even doing here again? We just needed the food cards. At least I think so. Ooh, that, of course. Clickety click, 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 click. Click. Boom, easy as that. Your card's balance is... Holy mama, that's a lot of money! I mean, I have one too, no big deal. I'm cool like that. And those cards are... where? Oh, here. She takes out 2 small metal cards from between her breasts and hands them to you. Always wanted to do this. Of course you have. They're warm. How long have they been in there? Less than a day. Concerning still. Are you done with meaningless questions? We have stuff to discuss still. Such as... She takes out a small book from between her breasts. How many things do you have in there? Shh, it's for comedic relief. Just accept it. I need to sit down. Great idea. Dallin would be very upset if I don't read every single word from this. The Summoner's Rulebook. Buckle up, this will be a boring ride. Ahem. You take a seat next to the worried dog, who looks a little pale. Poor fella just can't avoid weirdos. Let's start with the most important one. Students shall not enter the leader's office without the leader or vice leader present, for that is where the shard gems are to be stored. We kinda broke that one already. So the next one. The door to the office shall always stay closed. Does it count if the door is off its hinges? Anyway, next one. Meanwhile... enter Mr. White. Great timing. I was just... Hello, Mr. Kiriman. Therium, I was not expecting you here. Well, you probably expected somebody to pick up the luggage, right? I glanced towards the bag next to the lion's desk. Yes, of course. Somebody like its owner. It's going to have to wait for Cody to come pick it up. Mr. White is busy with shard business. He will not be able to accompany you today, yet he needs his things. Accompany? I think you have the wrong idea. I just wanted to protect his personal belongings. I can't just give it to anyone barging in. I am a vice leader. I am aware and accept any consequences if my new shardmate complains about stolen or missing items. Surely you don't think that I'll leave the country with a random first year's things in a burlap sack on my back, do you? Of course not. You are the last person to set foot outside of this country. His comment scrapes my ears, making them twitch, but I let it slide. Wrong words to focus on from what I said. I think you were pretty accurate. What kind of shard business is he up to? His vice leader isn't around, and not to mention the leader who hasn't arrived yet. Didn't think that you just leave him alone like that, since you know all the leaders want the recommended students in their shard. There must be a reason. The reason does not concern you. The large lion gets up from his table, slowly grabbing the leopard's luggage and dragging its wheels towards me. Daring today, as always. Here. Thank you, Headmaster. Tell him to be more careful next time. The wrong people might get a hold of his chattels one day, and we wouldn't want that to happen. I'll see what I can do. Good day. I walk out, scraping the floor with that one crooked wheel of the luggage bag following my heels. Unfortunately for me, the deep frowns forming on my face has to be hidden yet. It's not enough that I had to stay in the same room as those two. Their faces together almost made me vomit. But I just had to talk with this man again as well. This day just keeps getting worse. No matter how much I want to make the frown known, maybe some other time. Maybe if I snap one day, but this is not that day. Back to you. And that is why you never summon Nightfallen inside the barrier. Now for the part Dallin loves the most, class cleaning duty, sanitation days, and... Wish that were me. Wait, no, Chelsea, you have to do this for your friend. Wake the hell up. I wasn't sleeping. Totally awake. Should have accepted Marina's proposal to come to. At least for company. Excuse me, but why do the rules have to be read to us two in particular? I don't know. Ask someone who cares. Oh. Because you two missed the Shards group's rule reading, and Dallin wanted to make sure that you're familiar with them. Marina. My thoughts summon her. Her and her accompanying angelic background music. You're not the... Thank God you're here. I should go get the toolbox from that door. Yeah, you probably should. Hey Cody, I'm glad that we got to meet each other at the gathering, but I heard that some other recommended student can be found here, and I couldn't keep away. That would be me. Does anyone else know where to find me out of the blue? Probably. It didn't take me long to find the information. I see. Sorry, I know you're probably disappointed too. Disappointed? I don't think so, unless I should be for some reason. Just that we didn't join your shard. Chelsea seemed upset by that. Oh, don't mind her. She's the only one who cares that much. Besides, we got one too. Really? Hey, maybe we two should go meet. You look at your side, but nobody is there. The dog has vanished from his chair and from the door. He's quick. I didn't even notice him disappear. He's shy, I think. Check. Ahem. The horse stands by the hole where the door was supposed to be. or where it soon will be again as the raccoon girl struggles to screw its hinges back. Looks like your ride is here. I'll leave you to it. Good luck, Cody. Thanks a lot. Don't forget about my party, Marina. I'll try to. Yeah. Wait, you'll try? What do you... Hey, come back here! The horse squeezes through and approaches you with a newfound smile, his usual personality returned. Hey, Therium. Are we, free to go now? Alvy had to go, as you can see. I heard he does that sometimes. No matter. His job here is done anyway. We have no business with him. And you're all done as well. Ready for dinner? I'd almost forgot about food until I was presented with the lunch and dinner cards with unlimited money on them. Dinner's on me. I, have one too. Oh. But the thought is very much appreciated. You haven't seen the cafeteria yet, have you? Nope. But as long as it doesn't have stale, moldy pizza and milk that looks and tastes like glue, it's already better than my high school. Oh, don't worry. The food there is great. They commission different local restaurants every week, and the locals sure know their food. Probably because there's so much variety in immigrants? That's definitely a piece at play there. This is a heavily diverse town after all. The lively cafeteria, its noisy patrons, and the smell of fresh, hot dishes fills all your senses as the building comes into view. A building the size of a small football field with many small tents for outside seating. A phone rings. The horse checks his phone with a frown. God damn it. Sorry, Cody. This will take 1 second. Don't worry about it. Maybe I can grab us a table in the meantime? You're the sweetest. He walks away, the phone already in his ear. Let's see. How or where to find some... Cody! Hey! You see the trio of men that attempted to adopt you earlier, waving at you from a table for 4. The cat seems the most excited to see you, along with... I think that's supposed to say wolf, and even though the tiger shows no sign of happiness, he is the only one blushing out of the 3. How did the signing go? Didn't really sign, just got our cards and... Never mind that. How was your whole day? You should sit down. Here, there's an empty spot next to me. I'm sitting next to you. Ow! Bitch. You sit down awkwardly at the edge of the seat. Thanks, but I can't stay long. I was actually looking for a bigger place for me and Therium. He's just around the corner. He had a phone call to take care of. Ah, I'm surprised he's still with you. We thought that you'd be free after you signed in. So he wasn't using you to get a raise? No, definitely not. He's also helping me with the auditions, since I'm kind of new to all this summoning stuff. I take it that you're the one who follows him around then? Pretty much. I like to be a bother, I suppose. Ah, so you want some horse Eep! The cat closes his eyes and ducks, while you get red as a beet. The other 2 just look at you, too in a very casual way. Huh. Nobody's gonna smack me this time? Nice. Well, can't deny that. It's plausible. Hey! There is more to people than their personal... rods. Yeah, like their holes. Don't forget their toes. What? Come on, guys. He obviously meant their heart. Didn't know Therium had one of those. What's that supposed to mean? That is, once again an exaggeration. Therium simply likes to keep to himself. Just a very private guy. Aiden, aren't you kinda like that too? Well, He likes to fuck too much to hide in his room all day. Can you fucking stop saying stuff like that so confidently? It sounds worse than it is. But it's true. Do you guys not get along? We do. At least whenever he actually talks to us instead of avoiding us. Actually, he's helped me a lot before. The reason my forest fort is so awesome is because his Nightfallen cut down some trees for me. And he loves animals. A lot. Maybe a bit too much.
That's not a bad thing. Yes, it is, when its love transcends animals and goes to Nightfallen. Sometimes that can be good too, right? They exchanged unsure glances. If you're the type to fall in love with a hooker, then sure, it's a good thing in your eyes. Look at the bright side, guys. The loner and the new kid are getting along. Over there, I think he's looking for you, Cody. Yeah, I should go. Nice seeing you again. Good luck with him. See ya. Hey, everything alright? Yeah, just friends from outside the academy checking in. And looking at the state of things, we have a problem. Why do you say... You turn around and scan the cafeteria. Every single seat is taken. Seriously? Damn it, it's my fault. I got distracted and wasn't looking for empty seats. It's fine. We can get food and sit on some stairs or maybe just wait for someone. It's fine, Cody. I anticipated this happening. It's the norm at dinner time, especially at the start of the year. Come to my place. I'll cook us something quick. You were about to bark your response in an instant when a weird mixture of thoughts and emotions take over your mind, almost pushing the narrator out. What the hell? One of those thoughts is how the horse seems to have dialed down on the flirting and sexual remarks. Why? Perhaps he considers you wrapped around his finger already, and there's no point in trying, you think? In any case, that last part, of a strong man owning you, of someone wanting you to be theirs, it ignites something more than a simple feeling. What's happening? Lust rush. What? Yeah. One of the adverse reactions to me possessing you. Basically, cum brain. You little... There is no time for you to insult the demon inside your head, of course. There are more pressing matters at hand, such as... Do you want to try to ignore it and walk away with the horse, or refuse his invitation and find a way to relieve it? One is an investment, and one a quick and well-deserved release. Choose wisely. We're gonna ignore it and continue on, because we have to follow this little equine. I love you. I'd love to go to your place. Sounds nice. Follow me then. As if it had a mind of its own, the lust rush seems to notice that its host is giving up on appeasing it, and in turn mellows down. But that doesn't stop Therium from noticing your behavior. You grab his arm and hold tight close to his body, while trying your hardest not to flirt inappropriately. I need a fucking get some food. Fill me up to the brim. Don't worry. I'll make sure you're satisfied once we get to my dorm. Yep, that's what I want. You to satisfy me. Damn it all. The road there is more of a blur, imprinted in your mind. A road of and that your imagination made up. Without your guide literally holding your hand, you would have definitely derailed into a brothel or bar. By the time you arrive, the lust goes away completely, and a feeling of ease washes over you. Now you can focus your attention on the disbelief that you're feeling upon seeing his dorm. Dorm? Dorm? This is a penthouse. How many rooms are there? There is my room, the office I turned into a guest room, bathroom, living room, and kitchen. Is my room gonna be the same? Sorry, I doubt it. But you can stay here as long as you want. As soon as he steps inside, he walks towards the kitchen and starts dinner, but not before handing you a clean, neatly folded white towel. You can go shower in the meantime. It will only take 20 minutes to prepare everything. Is this an invitation to stay the night? Your dorm is pretty far away. It's already getting dark, and it will be nighttime by the time that I let you go. But what about my clothes? My luggage is in my room. No worries. It will be here when you get out. He smiles warmly. His confidence and sincerity make you stop questioning him.
Alright then, thanks. Get the luggage. Yes, master. Now, dinner time. I didn't get to cook for someone else in a long time. This might be, dare I say, fun. How you feeling? No more lust traces? Nope, I'm all good. But I should curse the hell out of you for this. You made a pact. I made a promise you'd like to get me into. I did not lie. I was simply vague. That should be considered lying. Oh, so demons should just die every time they don't offer a novel's worth of information with every comment they make? Great idea. Just kill us all like that, you genocidal maniac. You're taking the wrong words out of context. Just make yourself useful and narrate. It's boring. You're just showering. Here. The water gets on your fur, then shampoo. The shampoo makes bubbles, and bubbles make fur clean. There. Happy. You're so talented. You should write a book. Maybe I will. Just to spite you. One period of silence in your mind and a boring shower later, you get out and wrap a fresh towel around your waist. You step into the living room and see Therium working in the kitchen. Everything is ready in the guest room, last door on the second floor. One thing that catches your eye is that he is no longer in his uniform. The proper little pony boy is wearing casual clothes for once. Thanks, I'll be down in a minute. You run up the stairs, towel almost falling down, intentional, no doubt. It wasn't. So you're just a boy failure by design? Got it. You find the guest room and your sweet luggage you've missed so much. Taking out some casual clothes as well, you get dressed and walk back down the stairs to meet the horse face to face. 2 plates of hot food consisting of meat, potatoes, and some veggies, as well as some small basket of bread, await you on the coffee table in front of the TV. Therium notices your intrigued expression. Sorry, is this too casual? I thought eating in front of the TV would be less awkward than the kitchen table, but I could take everything back. No, don't bother. This is perfect. I'm just surprised at your sudden drop in properness. I don't like bringing my job into my personal life. That's a great way to live life, if you ask me. The table is a little further away from the couch, so to not have to hold your plate in your hands at all times, you decide to just sit on the floor while the horse sits like a normal person on the couch. You take the first bites of food in silence, but the intense flavors just won't let you stay quiet. Mmm, delicious. How'd you make it so fast? I had the meat marinated and ready, but the potatoes are reheated on the stove, unfortunately. No misfortunes found here. It's good. You are talented at this. You're just saying that. I swear I'm not. You sure it's not because of these? He holds his plate with one hand and flexes his biceps, smiling shyly. After a moment of seeing your unimpressed face, he melts. Would be the best term to describe it. His smile drops and arms slowly lower. Oh, you really are serious. In an instant, you return to your awkward boy failure state. Sorry. Was that a pop culture reference I didn't get? I'm not good with anything that isn't catered specifically to my tastes. No. I mean, yeah, it's from an old movie. It's fine. It wasn't too funny anyway. For the first time, Therium seems slightly uncomfortable, or at least not ready to small talk. He looks at the TV without a smile on, his eyes concentrating in the corner of the screen, trailing away to the wall behind it. Perhaps I offended him, is the first thought that comes through your head. Maybe he just doesn't know how to hold a conversation without being flirty. After all, those 3 guys earlier did say that he's a bit weird, and so far, aside from being smoking hot, you haven't seen many flaws in him. Okay, so... You tap your chin thoughtfully before finally coming up with something you might share common ground on to get him back into the conversational mood. Have you seen any good movies recently? I've been meaning to catch a new horror flick myself. You turn your attention back towards the TV and your plate of food while attempting to make small talk. There is this new movie that you might like. Well, anyone would like, since it has the best actress in the world starring in it, at least in my opinion, but anyone with eyes should agree to. Haven't seen it myself yet either, although I'm not sure how the cable even works around here. Speaking of cable, how does it work? Why can't I have access to it in my dorm? Actually, forget cable. Who even cares? I need internet. Do you have internet, Therium? He looks at you, a bit curious. You're not very good at small talk, he says in a serious, sullen tone, which shifts back into his usual proper and sly demeanor. You're supposed to wait for an answer after the first question before throwing the next one. Shoot, I'm always either talking too much or not enough. No in-betweens. At least you managed to snap him out of his little depressing episode, whatever that was about. Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't we hold a thought-provoking conversation then, Mr. Professional Conversational Enjoyer? All right. He ponders for a moment. How about this? Do you believe that animals have feelings and emotions like people? Now his tone is neutral, almost curious, though there is a hint of mischief lurking beneath the surface. You're surprised at his sudden question, but decide to give it a minute and really think about it. As you do, he gets up, his food nearly finished, and brings from the kitchen a bottle of wine, some kind of fruit juice, and a bottle of sparkling water, as well as 2 glasses. He places the wine bottle on the right corner, the fruit in the left corner, and the water in the middle of the table. He gestures towards them, and you understand the assignment, in a way, but at the same time, you can feel your brain frying. Such a simple choice, but knowing this man, it is not as it seems. My choice of beverage is my answer to this question, and my answer is... I believe they do, but probably not the same way that we do. You pour yourself a glass of juice from the labelless white container, with only the word juice written with a marker on it, a deep red juice. You look at it, swirl it around, and ponder taking a sip, a strange odor hitting your nostrils, making you halt for a moment. Risk taker, huh? You have no idea what kind of juice that is. It could be the bitterest grapefruit beverage in the world, or tomato juice, but you made up your mind and won't hear it any other way, right? Any kind of juice is good for you, even if it was from a fruit or vegetable that I don't like. There's no reason not to drink it. You chuckle awkwardly as your snout gets closer to the edge of the glass. So you would drink even disgusting blood, just to not offend your host? Your head moves back slowly and your eyes widen. I jest. It's beet juice. Phew. You say while still wondering if that is any better than blood. I only have that because I just finished a special diet. I should get rid of it. I understand if it's not to your taste. Whatever. With newfound confidence and before the stallion can take your glass, you gulp down the liquid without stopping, leaving you with a funny look on your face and a deep red mustache. I'm not a quitter. Interesting. You would even drink something disgusting just to not offend your host. It wasn't that bad. I had to drink it. It's disgusting. Yeah, it is. He gets up and brings you some actual juice, apple juice to wash everything down with. I guess sometimes the sweetest choice can also taste the worst. Nobody knows what's hidden beneath closed doors or white containers labeled juice. Is that foreshadowing? Watch out, the fourth wall isn't that thick. You might break it by accident. You are very nice and kind, and for your own good. I'm glad my beverage choice made you deduce that. He shifts into his cool persona once again and rearranges his long mane, with dangling crystal earrings reflecting in his pupils, which shines away from your face. I'm sorry, I'm spouting nonsense again, aren't I? No, don't be. I like this kind of conversation. Deep, but also meaningless in a way. It's my fault. I'm so bad at small talk that we had to resort to this way. Can't say that I was able to keep up with every metaphor and analogy that we threw in the mix, but I tried my best. You are sharper than you think. I'm aware that my divination methods are a bit more obscure, sometimes unwanted. I've been told. Divination? Now that you mention it, it did seem like a bit of a personality test of some sort. Spot on once again, but it's not as shallow as personality. Little questions, gestures, mimics, the way someone dresses, talks, and walks can all be a good indicator of who they really are, might even predict their destiny. You can tell my future? Oh no, not more than any run-of-the-crowd carnival seer could. There is no such thing as seeing someone's future. Time is much more malleable to predict it, always slipping through the tiniest cracks. I dabble in other ways. But that is not what matters most about me or about you. As a summoner, all that matters is your ability to summon Nightfallen with whatever kind of magic you have. We don't discriminate. That's good to hear. So, what about you? About the question, the one I almost had an internal meltdown over? You have to answer to. It's only fair. Oh? I mean, I don't know for sure. He says truthfully with an unusually sincere tone. But you can tell that animals show signs of happiness and sorrow sometimes, right? Like when a dog wags its tail or when a cat purrs. That is undoubtful. It's just a matter of how relevant it is to our question. He scratches his chin nonchalantly, contemplating. And what about us? Do we have emotions too? You can't possibly think we don't. His gaze drifts down, lingering on your chest briefly before returning to meet your eyes. Perhaps we do have some. But if they aren't deep enough, true enough, then they are no different than animals. I mean, lust is an emotion. We both know that's what's going on in this world. Yeah? Are we just machines designed to reproduce and survive? It's hard to judge the meaning of another being's life when you don't know your own purpose. So the final drink you choose is... I'm not thirsty. So you just refuse? I put it on pause. There is such a thing as taking action too early. Some hints may appear along the way that will change my opinion. Such as a piece of stale bread that needs to be washed down. When the moment comes, I'll make my choice. Don't want to regret it until then. But what if you had to choose? I choose nothing. But the question only has 3 choices. You have to choose one of the 3. Then I refuse the questions, as I said. Not this time. You have to choose, or else you get 0 points. Can I choose a cup of tea? Nope, no 4th option. No BS. I don't think that's how. Wine, water, juice. But I can't choose. God, let me. 1, 2, 3, and... It's not that simple. For the first time, you made him lose his cool for only a second. His intense eyes, encircled by wrinkled skin and his perfect hair, now has a few strands standing upright. He realized it as soon as you do, and starts laughing. All right. You win. I guess you don't always get to have another choice. Not when there is a noisy, demanding leopard ready to jump at your throat. Guilty as charged. If I had to choose something, and it was life or death, I'd choose what you chose. That is either a flattering answer, or a boring one, or a dumb one. Funny, somehow you managed to answer the question exactly how I wanted, yet it is still technically a 4th choice. Nicely done. It's your turn to flatter me, huh? What can I say? I like to leave my guests satisfied, but that doesn't mean that I won't get what I want in the end. Thanks again for the meal. I was fully expecting to only eat cafeteria meals and junk food or convenience store items for my whole year. And thank you for the thought-provoking conversation. Nightfallen don't usually respond to me that way. Night? Oh. I saw the dog bed and chew toys in the corner. I was gonna ask if you own a pet, but now I realize. Yep, maybe not a pet, but a familiar for sure. Deja vu. Sparkle loves his alone time in the bed, bathing in the moonlight. You can let him out. He seems very friendly when I met him. Ah, that. Sparky. I don't think you're ready to meet Sparkle just yet. Oh, that makes me intrigued and also scared. Reasonable reaction, but don't worry. This isn't some kind of big sacrifice for your sake, he says while bringing 2 small bowls of ice cream from the kitchen. You're spoiling me. What am I expected to do when an angel is sitting in my living room, but treat him with utmost respect and adoration? Oh, you. Conversation? What conversation? Whatever words the horse was spilling after the cheesy remark went through your one ear and left through the other, as the rest of your face hole was stuffed with frozen delight. The few moments of clarity were in turn occupied with the sound of the TV. Screams of agony can be heard at this point in the show. You don't seem too fazed. I have high horror movie tolerance. I used to watch them since I was like 4, with my mom and my cousin. I suppose there is no chance or a reason to snuggle together on the couch, you brave cat. Yeah, probably not. Somehow you managed to push any kind of lust in your cum brain away in a critical moment. Not even a personal narrator in your head could break you away from the screen and the spoon. Thankfully, your man is not too sad about your denial. In fact, he's smiling warmly while looking your way. It's only by the end of the movie, when he got bored and came closer, massaging your shoulders with his strong, meaty fingers, his thighs touching your cheek, and his foot brushing against your arm, that you finally realize the tension in the room. But it's a little late for that. There are more pressing matters to turn to. Hey, so where do I sleep? Should have asked this earlier, probably. Glad you asked. Well, you have 2 options. You can either take the guest room on the 2nd floor, which is unfortunately not too well prepared to actually house guests. Or, my bed is big enough, I believe. Yep, those lustful thoughts came back faster than that young, attractive woman died to the serial killer in the movie. The pretty ones are always the first. Keep that in mind, pretty boy. Yeah, we're not sleeping with him. Or in his room. I appreciate the thought, but a room by myself is more than enough. I don't need anything fancy, and I certainly don't want to intrude on your privacy. I understand. It was a shot in the dark on my part anyway. As your first day here, you must be exhausted. You should go to bed right away. Tomorrow there are a lot of things to do. Shouldn't I shower first at least? He comes closer and tilts your head to the side ever so slightly, taking a long whiff. You smell lovely, dear. Besides, there's always morning. You're right. I am kind of sleepy. Good night. Sweet dreams. At last, you are left alone, or at least alone with a demon inside. Shut up for a second. What's up? About Therium. Is he, you know, fruity? Yes. No, into me. Are are you fucking stupid? Are you dense? I know. He's been flirting all day basically. But I know people who do that just because that's their personality. They don't actually like you. That could be the case. After all, you're ugly as fuck, right? Oh, really? No, you dumbass. You're hot. You're giving me a mixed messages, Scribbles. Good. Maybe my mixing will dislodge a neuron or two inside that noggin of yours. Hmm. These thoughts are useless right now. You're right. Bickering like an old couple doesn't solve your overthinking. Looking around, you see a regular small room with a bed, a window, and a small wardrobe, nightstand, and even clean, ready to use sheets. If this is an unprepared room, I'd like to see how he actually prepares one. Why'd you choose the guest room anyway? I need some time to think. Not necessarily anything lustful, just think. What about? About you, about the school, about Therium, and about how my luggage is already here. That is peculiar indeed. About a lot of things. Everything's so new. And as tempting as Therium's offer was, I need my alone time in the moonlight too. Just like Sparkle.
That is, if sleep doesn't steal me away too early. I really am tired. More tired than I thought. Ugh. Hey, about that horse. Can I be honest with you? Sure, go ahead. He was lying. You do need a shower. You smell like shit. Fuck off. Meanwhile, the sound of my sofa cushions being compressed is not something that I like to hear, unless it's me who does it. I guess he's already here. No matter, I have to make preparations for tomorrow's meals before starting a conversation with this nice ass. Deviant. A very appropriate greeting coming from you. Not my fault you decided to get naked as soon as your little toy went to bed. I thought he'd never leave. Don't call him that. Already attached, hmm? Since when do you prepare food so late at night? There must be a new special reason. Did you come here just to get on my nerves? Not at all. I just wanted to check on things. And I have to say, I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing. Shut up. The other two are looking for him. And what am I supposed to do? I'm just bringing the news, not the solutions. He really likes you. He likes my body. That's what you want him to like. I know it's hard to admit that you got out philosophized. That's not a word. But it's true. I heard you two talk, and I heard your heartbeat rise and fall. Rise and fall. Rise. Are you done? What do you even want? I'll get to the point, I guess. Be honest. How do you think that he'll do? I don't think he's ready. Why? Are you still jealous, Therium? Or perhaps insecure? Or maybe both? No. Then come on, give him a chance. You know what happens if he fails. Then he better not. That depends entirely on us and him. What about the auditions? For him, you were right. It will be a joke. Okay. Script? Scribbles? Are you gonna narrate? Are you not there, or are you just mad at me for what I said before bed? Because frankly, I should be the annoyed one here. Okay, I guess you're not here. But more importantly, where am I? I find myself in darkness, but my eyes are open. I can move freely around, although I don't know if I should. This certainly feels like a dream. My skin is not cold or warm. I feel no breeze or even air itself. There's just nothingness, a deep, comforting void. Maybe I should take a nap here? Even if it's a dream, it's not like there's anyone. Just turn around already. Oh. So we meet again. What's the occasion? No idea. Did you not summon me? Like all the other times? I didn't summon you. Now, nor did I any other time. I don't know what your deal is, and this mind of yours. You're the one that's trapping me in your dreams. Stupid. At least this time. You're turning your head very far. Hey, you're gonna break your neck. Look at me. Are you blushing? No, shut up. I just didn't expect you here, that's all. Last time that I used a lot of magic to be able to get to you, but now? I might have something to do with our bond kind of strengthening in a way. Since we're sharing a body and all. You think so? I have noticed that I was rapidly gaining new abilities, knowledge, and strength here. In the real world, I am even able to see things that you don't keep your eyes on already.
Aw, we're becoming closer and closer friends. Or maybe I'm starting to consume you from the inside and take over. Why are you ruining the moment? Moment? Like we can have any kind of good moments in the darkness. There is only misery and boredom here. Where are we anyway? Welcome to my prison. Make yourself comfortable. Your prison? You mean we're inside your crystal? Not quite. It is visually an exact replica, but you're still dreaming, so it's not like you can actually feel anything. Now that you mention it, I don't even have a desire to breathe in here. It is definitely nicer than my actual prison. Dark, gloomy, creepy. Yep, this explains everything. I don't like that condescending tone. I'm just kidding. You are... what? Annoying, dumb, ugly, a nuisance to have around? You can say it all to my face now, I suppose. It's not like I can... pleasant. Huh? In a way. Explain yourself. I'm not sure how to explain it. You just seem like not so bad guy sitting over here, in front of me. It's different from the real world for some reason. Maybe because you have a real person's body instead of a cloud of scribbles? But probably because you can't hear all the nasty things that I'm saying in my mind. Oh? About me? No, just in general. This is a little awkward now that I think about it. Why? You said that you like my body. That's also the problem. Well, we we almost fucked before in my previous dream. Oh, well, in my defense, you're the one that jumped at my feet. You should have said it was a dream or just said no in general. Well, I stopped the dream before you could do anything, didn't I? That's something. That was you? Not my alarm? Guess I underestimated your self-control. Good job, lust demon. I'm glad that at last he won't be able to hear my thoughts because of what I am about to say, but he is extremely cute. I mean that in a completely innocent way. The blush that appears over his scribbles makes as much sense as a snowman in the desert, but it keeps appearing as he talks, his face turning away from me as much as possible. He might be embarrassed about the scribbles, or maybe his mostly naked body. After all, I do get to be fully clothed in my own dream, even if I went to sleep in my underwear. Maybe I'm the weird one, actually. What are you thinking so intensely about? Oh, sorry. I was just... Can I touch you? His head once again turns and shuffles, but he doesn't say a word. I could before. Why wouldn't I be able to now? You didn't shy away before. That was a special case. How so? I wasn't inside your body back then. It wasn't real. Are you saying this is real? I don't know. I never had to possess anyone before. This is all new to me as well. It's not something that I expected. But still, I thought that I knew all that there was to know about mind spells. So, do you wanna experiment? See what we can do, can't do? I mean, you can try, I guess, if you want. But I'm not expecting much. I take a few slow steps towards the mighty demon. A compliment that I add just for the off chance that he actually hears my thoughts. This is technically my mind after all. I extend my hand towards him, who in turn raises his hand to match mine. Memories of our encounter earlier today flow back. The same emotions, same darkness, same scenario. Even in a dream, the heat of his scales warms my fingertips as we get closer. 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 A crack appears in the forever darkness. The light sipping through the traces, the outline of our hands, fingers phasing through one another. I guess we really can't touch. You have to get out. Huh? Why? What's wrong? Is the light bad? It's just a dream.
Please, just... This isn't your mind. Scribbles? Sub. Don't suck me. Explain yourself. What dream? Don't gaslight me. You know very well what dream, so start talking. I don't want to. Just like that? That's your final answer? Why do you feel entitled to every truth in the universe? Just drop it. You are so... I won't get far arguing with somebody with no body. Fine. Since you're so grumpy all of a sudden, I'll just drop it. But only for the time being. Because for now, I have other things to worry about. Like if Therium woke up yet or not. I should go check, and maybe wake him up if he hasn't yet. You look down at your semi-naked self, noticing the erection forming out of nowhere. Just morning wood. Thankfully no magic lust or anything. I can ignore that for now. You get some of the clothes from the luggage that, of course, is with you, and has always been with you except for that time it wasn't. Don't think about it too much. You're just thankful that it is here now. You get dressed with the same old clothes as ever. Jeans, shirt, and tie. Why change perfection? You walk out the door and down the hallway, looking around at the few paintings and potted plants on the way. Feet stomping and pots clinging can be heard from down below. Guess that's him. I hope he didn't wake up earlier just for me. That's actually where I'm going to leave it for today. So, how are y'all liking Therium? Pretty sure there's a handful of you already drooling over him. Let me tell you, might want to close your, jaw a little, clean up the drool around your face, your mouth, the corners of your mouth, your chin. It's kind of gross. Also because it's probably someone you shouldn't drool over, trust me. Anywho, so far he seems pleasant yet guarded. Most of the answers and things that he gives you along at this point are usually sort of like half-truths, half-answers, sort of just evasive answers. And he seems to ask more questions about Cody or towards Cody than answer questions in general, or provide any information himself. Because I read basically from the beginning of where you decide to not talk to anyone, even though you end up talking to people, and to this point, I guess I could talk a little bit about that. Obviously, Therium has some stuff that he's hiding. If you know, you know. Clearly, when he went to go pick up the luggage from the headmaster, you could see that he was hiding some rather negative emotions, thoughts, and they were both directed at the headmaster and at Alvy and Cody. If it wasn't obvious, he is hiding something. Something very important, which you will find out later, obviously. He obviously is talking to the person that is stalking Cody. So again, that should give you more or less an idea what Therium is about. If you already played it or if you already know what's going on, keep your mouth shut, please, because I know some of you are always just so tempted and you don't have the restraints to not type spoilers. Even though I asked you guys nicely not to write spoilers, you guys just love to spoil things. You like to say, oh, I know what you're talking about, and then you write it down. Instead of just saying like, ah, yes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, squirt, squirt. Anyways, but yeah. So write down in the comments what you think is happening, not what is actually happening for the people that already read ahead. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Lush Shards yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the Twitter page.
Oh wait, what did I say? What did I say? Thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Lush Shards yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the Twitter page, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page. Or you can just go to itch.io and download it yourself if you haven't already. I will post a link down for their Patreon, which you can see right there at the bottom left, which should give you early access to builds of Lush Shards. And one thing to note, though, is that this build of Therium's route, or the Summoner Shard route, is actually split into 3 parts. What I am currently reading is part 1. There has been no word about part 2 or part 3 yet, so I'm assuming if you subscribe to their Patreon, you will know when part 2 and part 3 will come out. But for now, only part 1 is out, and that is what I'm gonna read, and that's what's gonna show up here. What you're basically watching right now, basically. But yeah, so other links in the description, Throne link, Coffee link, all that other stuff is in the description in case you wanna, support me. Thank you at Astrin DWatt, who has supported already twice. You're making the purchase of something possible. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.